All right, guys, so we are going to practice adding and subtracting decimals. So this is our problem. So it says add 6.182, 9.8, and 5. Okay, here's your steps. So our first step is going to be lining up our decimal points. Let me put this in purple so you can kind of see it. Okay, so right here we took these three numbers and we lined up our decimal points. 5 did not have a decimal, but you know that's the same as like 5.0. So you can add that decimal to your 5. Okay, you should be able to draw a straight line through your decimals. So all three numbers, we just lined up with our decimals. That's step 1. Step 2 is we can go, I guess, step 2 and 3 can be 1. Okay, once our decimals are lined up, we need to look at our place values. They call it a 0 to hero. I call it our imaginary 0. But we need to add zeros so all of our place values are the same. So we have the same number in all of them. So if our longest number has 4 place values, 1, 2, 3, 4, every number has to have 4 place values. So we need to add those zeros. Okay. Once we've done that, step 4 is just to do adding our digits. I'm just kind of like color coding this so y'all see it. So 2 plus 0 is 2. 8, 0, 0 is 8. Our addition signs. 8 plus 1 is 9. 6 plus 9 is 15. Plus 5 is 20. Okay. Step 5 is to bring our decimal point straight down. I like to do it beforehand, but you can do it before or after. Usually when I line up the decimals, I just bring it all the way down. So in that same color, I would have my decimal all the way down. And then step 6 is to check. Okay. So we can check our work. When we learn how to subtract, we can go the opposite direction. We can make sure it has the same number of place values in the answer as it does in our first number. We can add 2 numbers together and then a third number. Those are just a few ways we can check this answer. Okay. Let's do the word problem. So it says, Jenny uses the scale in science class to measure the mass of iron fillings. The 3 samples were 1.237 grams, 2.349 grams, and 0.07 grams. How many total grams did she measure? So we said total of 3 different masses. So let's go through our steps. Step 1 was to line up our decimals. So we have 1.237, 2.394, and then 0.07. Okay. We need to add those zeros to make sure our place values are all the same. Okay. And then we can go ahead and add. So 7 plus 4 is 11. Okay, I like to make tens. So I see that 7 and 3 is going to give me a 10. Plus 9 is 19. Plus 1 is 20. 2 plus 2 is 4. Plus 3 is 7. And then 2 plus 1 is 3. Our decimal needs to go straight down. And we can put our grams because we're doing grams. Okay, that's the steps to add decimals. The steps are the exact same to subtract decimals, but let's still try it out. Okay, so it says subtract 25 and 17.063. So step 1 was to line up our decimals. So we can add a decimal after our 25. So we have 25 and a decimal, and then 17.063. You remember that second number goes on the bottom. Okay. And then we need to add any zeros we may have. So we got to fill in all the place values to make sure that they're the same. I'm going to change colors. And then we can go through once we have the same number of place values and go ahead and subtract our numbers. Can we do 0 minus 3? No. So we can't take away from the 0. We can't take away from the 0. So we have to take away from this 5. That 5 will change into a 4. We can change this into a 10. But if we know this has to be a 10, then we're going to take away from all of our zeros before that. And this one will be our 10. I didn't write right. Okay. Now we can go ahead and subtract. So 10 minus 3 is 7. 9 minus 6 is 3. 9 minus 0 is 9. Can we do 4 minus 7? No. So we have to take away from our 2. This will turn into a 1. And this will turn into a 14. 14 minus 7 is 7. 1 minus 1 is 0. We bring that decimal straight down. And our answer is 7.937. If you wanted to leave that 0 in the front, that's fine, but it's going to give us the same answer. Okay. Let's try it in a word problem. So it says Melissa and Melanie raced around the track to see who could run the furthest or the farthest. Melissa ran 2 and 891 thousandth miles, and Melanie ran 1 and 962 thousandth miles. How much further did Melissa run? So how much further means we're going to subtract. So we have to line up our decimals with step 1. So 2.891 minus 1.962. This is beautiful. We can go ahead and add that decimal, like I said, what I like to do. Okay. Can we subtract 1 from 2? No. So we have to take away from the 9, make this an 8, make our 1 into an 11. Okay. 11 minus 2 is 9. 8 minus 6 is 2. We can't do 8 minus 9, so we have to take away from the 2. The 2 will then turn into a 1. The 8 will turn into an 18. Okay? 18 minus 9 is 9. 1 minus 1 is 0. If we wanted to check our work, we can add our answer to this problem, the lower one, to see if we get a total of 2.891, which you should. So Melissa ran 929 thousandth miles more than Melanie. And that would be my answer. Okay, we're going to do a few practice problems adding and subtracting before you do your assignment.